video we are going to learn the generally accepted accounting principles, or GAAP. And from now on in this video I will mention the generally accepted accounting principles as GAAP. So before knowing what are generally accepted accounting principles, let us first know what are accounting principles itself. So we all know that accounting is the language of the business which a business uses to communicate with outsiders. What does it communicate with the outsiders? It communicates about the results, that is the financial results, and the state of affairs. And as for any other language, this language of accounting is also guided by a framework, and that framework is nothing but the accounting principles. So accounting principles are a set of concepts and conventions which guide. The accounting principles are a set of concepts and conventions which guide the process of accounting. Guide the process of accounting for what? To achieve its objectives. To achieve its objectives. So accounting principles are nothing but a set of concepts and conventions which guide the process of accounting to achieve its objectives. So what is the main objective of accountancy or accounting? The main objective of accounting is to communicate the results of the financial transactions to the owners and other interested parties of the business. So now we know what accounting principles are. Let us see what GAAP is. So let me write it down. GAAP, as the name suggests, is nothing but accounting principles generally accepted worldwide. Accounting principles, GAAP is accounting principles which are generally accepted worldwide. Generally accepted in different countries. Generally accepted by the accounting bodies, financial bodies and institutions all over the world. Generally accepted, let me write worldwide. So why do we need GAAP? What is actually the reason behind implementation of GAAP? Why GAAP? The answer to this question is very simple and lies in the points which I am going to discuss below. The first thing is globalization, and or say liberalization of economy. Liberalization of economy. So now in the present day scenario, the world the the world economy is seeing a stage of globalization and liberalization where businesses are not restricted to geographical borders. So there are cross country businesses, international firms, and thus the need of accounting information is also not restricted to the geographical limits of a particular country. So a company operating in India may need to communicate its financial results to some person who is sitting in Brazil. Or say, let me take an example of an investor. Say there is an investor. This person is an investor and he is sitting in USA, and there is a company in India. This is a company in India. This is India, and this is a company. And there is a company in India, and this person wants to invest in this company by buying the shares of this company. So he wants to invest in this company by buying the shares of this company. So how will he decide that whether this company is a good investment target or not? So for that decision, this investor will depend upon the accounting information or the accounting results of this company. So the accounting information of this company will flow to this user so that he can make that investment decision. The accounting information will flow. But let us assume that the accounting principles in India and the accounting principles that are in practice in USA are completely different, such that the accounting principles followed in India are not at all followed in USA. Totally different set of practice is prevalent in USA. So in that case, will this investor be able to interpret this accounting information for his benefit? Will actually this accounting information serve the purpose of this investor? He will not be able to decode this accounting information because he is not aware of the accounting principles which are followed in India, or the principles which this company used to produce this accounting information. He is only aware of the accounting principles and policies that are followed in USA. So thus there is a need of uniformity. Thus there is a need of uniformity of accounting principles. Thus, there is a need of uniformity of accounting principles so that the data produced by the accounting system can be used worldwide. If the accounting principles followed by every country is more or less similar or uniform, then people of any country can use or interpret the financial data produced by any other country. In the practical scenario, however, 100% uniformity has not been achieved. 100% uniformity has not been achieved. But still, since there is an implementation of generally accepted accounting principles, since there is an implementation of GAAP, to an extent, the very basic accounting principles all over the world are the same. That is why it is possible for people all across the globe to interpret and understand the accounting information which was compiled in a different country. And in this era of globalization, where there are always cross border investments and other transactions are happening, and businesses are expanding their boundaries outside their home countries, this kind of uniformity of accounting principles is of very much importance. Otherwise, more often than not, every moment a wrong decision will be taken and money will be lost. So now when we know what gap is and why we need it, let us go back to the accounting principles. So let me write it down once more over here, and I will use a different color now. Accounting principles, as I said earlier, are a set of concepts and conventions. Accounting principles are a set of accounting concepts and conventions. Now, what is a concept? By the word concept, we mean a mental idea, a general idea about something. So, there are some basic concepts which an accountant has to understand before preparing an accounts, and conventions. Let me write down the tagline for the concepts. Was concepts are nothing but a basic idea about something. And conventions are a set of rules. Conventions are a set of rules and practices which actually govern the solving of a particular class of problems. Conventions are actually a set of rules and practices which govern the solving process of a particular class of problems. So these concepts and conventions together make the accounting principles. And in the field of concepts, we have, under the concepts, we have different concepts like, say, I will list a few. Say we have for entity concept, and I will try to discuss all these concepts, each one of them in a separate video. Then we have uh, going concern concept. Then we have money measurement concept, and we have periodicity concept, and etc. We have uh, others which we will discuss in future videos. And for conventions, we have convention of disclosure. Then we have convention of materiality. I wrote the spelling wrong. We have materiality. Then we have convention of conservatism conservatism. And finally we have convention of consistency. So we will discuss all of them in separate videos, each of the concepts and each of the conventions. So stay tuned and stay subscribed for future videos. Thank you for watching.